Hey, I'm Jeff from notsitting.com. Let's take a few minutes to talk about the pros and cons of getting an adjustable or standing desk or a desktop converter. So what this really comes down to is, what's good about standing while you work over sitting while you work. Now, standing desks are getting a lot of attention right now. They're very popular. The adjustable desk that lets you stand up is very popular. The reason they're so popular is because people are finding that they really enjoy being able to choose their position when they work. I'm a pretty active person, and I'm a pretty animated person, and I like to move and fidget. And so sitting down all day gets difficult. I feel like I have to get up and walk around to get some of that out. But when I have a standing desk, I find that I choose the position based on my mood. If I feel like standing up, no problem, I'll just stand up, I'll work here for a while. If I get tired, or if I want to focus a little bit more, I might decide that I want to sit down for a while. Or if for some reason maybe I worked out that day and my back's tired or my legs are tired, maybe I'll prefer to sit down. That's really the benefit of a standing desk, because it lets you adjust to your preference at that time about whether you want to stand or sit. So what are some good things about the desk? Well, for one, you can match the way you work with how you're feeling and your energy level. That's number one. Number two, you're going to have a little bit more hum and a little bit more energy being burned when you're standing than when you're sitting. When you're sitting, there's so much of your body that's relaxed, not doing anything. Another benefit of a standing desk is that from a collaboration standpoint, when someone comes up to your desk, it's much easier to collaborate up here than to have to always go find a filing cabinet to sit on or a chair to move over to your desk. Here, you can just lean in, you can have a quick meeting or conversation, I can show you some things, and then you can be about your way. So there's a lot of advantages to the standing desk, and particularly to being able to adjust standing to sitting or the opposite way. There are some drawbacks though. Probably the biggest drawback I hear from people is that they weren't willing to go through the transition period, or it was too much work. What that means is when you first start standing, your body has to get used to spending more time standing during the day. If you're someone who, you get up, you watch some TV, you commute into work, you get to work, you sit down, you're there all day, you commute home, you watch some more TV in the evening, you might be sitting for like 12, 14 hours a day. If that's the case, it's going to take a little bit of an adjustment in your body, in the physical aspects of your body, to get used to doing some standing. Of course, the way to do this is you just ease into it, right? It takes a little time. You ease into it, you sit when you feel like you should sit, you stand when you want to work on standing. Now, another drawback is that whatever bad posture habits you have when you're sitting, you're going to bring to your standing unless you focus on it. There are some products out there that will help remind you when you get into bad posture, but really this is about you choosing to have a good posture when you're seated or when you're standing. And so I'd say that's the biggest drawback. The next drawback is cost. Some of these standing and adjustable desks are quite expensive, and so you're going to need to look at the budget you have available for your workstation. Now, remember that the desk is not the only thing you need. You're definitely going to want a monitor arm, or at least be able to get the monitors to an appropriate point, so you might need a riser. Once you have a monitor arm, you'll never go back, trust me. You should look at your keyboard and your mouse, and you should get into a good ergonomics position for your keyboard and your mouse. I use the Microsoft ergonomics model. I use a mouse that is a ball mouse, so my wrist doesn't move at all, my arm doesn't move at all. I just use the trackball with my thumb. It's taken care of all the issues I had with my wrist and my hand as I was using a more traditional mouse. When I'm standing, I use a standing mat. So not only do I wear shoes with insoles that are more comfortable, that provide some structure for my foot, I also stand on a mat. It makes a huge difference in my comfort level. And now that I have all these things set up, it's so much more comfortable to work. It's far more comfortable for me to stand than it is for me to sit, except when I'm physically tired and I want to relax, right? And I want to relax more. That's when I go have a seat. So there are some thoughts on standing desks, on what it takes to adjust to one, on some of the pros and cons of standing desks. If you have questions or you want help figuring out a workstation that's going to work for you, be sure to drop a comment in or send me a message. Talk to you soon.